Welcome back to the vlog. Rest day today, thankfully. I'm just cruising down to the shops on my mountain bike right now to get some food. I'm going to state the obvious, but I feel absolutely knackered today and I need some good food. I do actually intend on riding today. I want to just do an hour just to spin the legs out from the last few days of training. But it is technically a rest day and I didn't want to go out in the rain for the sake of just riding on a rest day. It's supposed to clear up this afternoon, so I've just got some food now. And hopefully by the time I finish it with this, it's dried up outside and I can go out on my bike. Better late than never. It is dry now though. I was not fancying riding in the rain on a rest day. Road closed. Looks like we're going this way. Yeah, I find it quite hard actually doing zone 1 rides, like 1 hour zone 1, just because like when I'm not concentrating and I'm starting to go up a climb, I end up riding like zone 2, zone 3, just naturally, that natural resistance against the pedals. So you really have to think about it just keeping in zone 1, just keeping it under X amount of watts. Yeah, just sometimes it's not the easiest of things to do. But the reason that I'm riding today is because I got a hard weekend coming up, and just off the back of last week, like, I think it's good to just keep the legs going through today and then back into proper training again tomorrow, rather than having a rest day today completely. My legs, you know, getting stiff, and then I think potentially they'll be more worse. No, that's not even a word. Potentially they will hurt more tomorrow had I not have ridden. It almost feels like I'm back in France, riding over the cobbles. I thought I'd left that shit behind. Decided to literally just go a little bit rogue. Went a bit cross country, just following along some footpaths like down along these fields beside me. And I've ended up on some gravel farm track. No idea where it leads to. Yeah, this is the current situation. This is what rest days are all about, just exploring around. Private road, keep out. We won't go that way. And now we're back on the proper stuff. I quite enjoyed that. I might try and find some more fields to ride down. Alright, now we're on a canal. Obviously I can only do an hour, so there's only so far I can go, like from my house in terms of the distance away. So there's only so many fields and there's only so many, paths that I can find. But one thing we're not sure of in the north of the UK is canals, so there's always a canal path to ride down. Also, it's like coming to that time of the evening where everyone's driving home from work, so as much time as I can spend off the main roads as possible, the better. Solid TSS there of 21. Welcome back to the Saturday edition of the vlog. Normally the weekend is a time to wind it down a little bit, to relax, to take it easier. But for me today it's quite the opposite. Got a 3-hour ride scheduled today with some pretty hard efforts. A little bit apprehensive about it. It's kind of playing on my mind to get this session done. So my thinking is that if I go out early and just get it done, then that's gonna be the best practice. So it's like 8 o'clock right now. Set my alarm for 7 o'clock this morning, and I'm just gonna go out and get it done. Let the fun or let the pain begin. So I'm just going to start with some 8-minute progressive VO2 max intervals, I call them. Well, first off I'm going to do like a 30-minute loop just to warm up a little bit, so I don't go into these efforts completely cold. But basically, like I start like zone 3, and then as the 8 minutes goes on, like every minute I load more, I add more watts, and then by the time I get to the final minute, I should be going full gas, or pretty much like full gas. So weird, because I always think that these efforts aren't going to be that hard. like the last minute is sort of 420, 440 watts, which is doable for like a minute, you know, but it's just that accumulation of power over the previous 8 minutes that makes it so hard. And for me anyway, it takes a lot of mental focus to get these efforts done. It's like you have to try and restrict yourself at the start and not go too hard at the start, but then keep that consistency going until the final minute and still have enough gas left to do the power that you want to do in that final minute. Yeah, either way, it's a hard session. Some days you can head out on the bike and when you're feeling that good, the training that you're doing just feels effortless. It almost feels like you're just gliding through the air, and you can just add like 20 watts onto everything that you're doing. They're the days that we live for. Today was not one of those days. Just done the four 8-minute efforts. Managed to like hit what I wanted to in terms of my numbers and stuff, but I really had to bury myself, especially for the last two. I'm just happy to get it done now. I got about half an hour just cruising around. So I'm just gonna take this time to ride easy and recover a little bit. And then in the last hour of the ride, I gotta press on for a little bit. Welcome to the lovely, beautiful coastal resort of Southport, home of a shutdown theme park, a few fish and chip shops and pontons. This is what dreams are made of, kids. The sea is that far out. There's grass growing on the beach. And that is the last of the efforts done for today's ride. Had to do a 30-minute sweet spot effort there in the last hour. Oh, and the wind nearly just blew me off. I'm done. I'm actually done. My target was like 3:30 again for the 30-minute period, and I just finished under that, like 326 watts, I think. There was a couple of slow cars that I caught up to, and I didn't want to take any mad risks, so now I'm pretty happy to get that one done. Before, I didn't know how I'd go after doing the efforts earlier on in the ride, but yeah, I never really got into the rhythm. Never really sort of settled into it. I found like I was always fighting the gear, but yeah, happy to get it done. Now I've got 30 minutes to cruise around, and the sun's even come out. What better way to finish the ride? Currently just out right now walking these two madhounds. Alright, that's going to be the end of today's video. Sam's back there somewhere. Thank you for watching, every single one of you, and I will see you tomorrow for a bit of an epic ride up to Yorkshire, I think. Yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll see you then.